Welcome, parents, to those who could not attend our data night. Miss Rooney and I are so thankful that you are interested in learning how your child is doing. And the reason why we have this data night, or we had the data night, is so that during conferences we're not talking about data, but actually how they're doing in class. Thanks for taking the time. And remember, if you're not following us on Twitter or Facebook, we do updates. We try daily, post things that we're doing. Also, here's our website. You can see our website. That's different than last year. And also both of our emails. So Twitter handle and so forth. So please check that out so that you can be with us when we are keeping you up to date about what's going on in the classroom. We watched this YouTube clip, and I'll put the link on it. I'm not going to play it through here. And mostly what this video was showing is the importance of not only doing the tech stuff that we're trying to do within our class. As you'll see, everything's done through Google Classroom. We're pretty much paper-free, not totally, but then the importance of being outdoors. So be looking for this. I'll put it on our Facebook, Twitter, and also on our homepage. So this is it's from Nature Valley, and it's just the importance of being outside. So assessments. You were sent these home. We sent these home to you, and you have three tests that were sent to you. 1, the MAPS reading. 2, the PALS reading, and 3, the MAPS math. So let's talk about what each of these mean. The first one, MAPS, is done through NWEA, and this is a computer-generated test only. The kids are on the computer. I don't help them. Miss Rooney doesn't help them. We can't tell them any single thing. And the thing that's even different about this year compared to last year is that they have to read all of it. There's no headphones involved like there was before. So you got a sheet that looks like this, and on it, it shows you where your child scored, the blue, and then it also tells you where they should be by the end of the year. This is their projected rate of improvement. Can't remember exactly what this means. It also tells you their Lexile range in reading and math. So on this one sheet are both scores. It tells you, it breaks down each of the strands within math and within literacy, and then it also tells you, as we keep going through the year, where they are from the winter to the spring. So this is where they scored right now. So a lot of parents that came to the meeting were like, oh my gosh, they have scored lower than they were. Part of it is second grade expectations. Second, it is not read to them, and they are all on their own. We would love for you to fill this out, and this is a goal sheet. We'd like you to send it back home and set a goal of where you think they could get. This is the end of the year, the top line where they're dotted, and this is where they are performing right now. If you're wondering what all those scores mean, you can use this chart that we sent in there also. So here shows you the reading, and so if we go back and we look at this student, they scored a 188 in the fall in math. Whoops, I said reading. So let's go back to reading. 199 in the fall in reading. So 199. So I go back to this chart, and I see in reading a 199. So I keep going until I find the 199, and this is a higher achieving student. Sorry, I just grabbed a 1. And this is in the beginning of 4th grade, this reader is. So when you look there, they're like, wow, that's really great. Yeah, it is. But they're still expected a year's growth no matter where your child's performing. So they're expecting them to get to a 201. So if I look on this chart again and I see the 199, I go to 201, they're not expecting them to grow that much because they're already so 188. What was it? Let me see again. Well, we were at a 199 to a 209. I keep going from reading to math, sorry. 199 to 209. So if I go to the 209 and I look at 299, 209, sorry, I'm in the middle of 5th grade. So even though they're scoring at the beginning of 4th, they're expecting them in the middle of 5th by the end of the year. This is a hard thing when there's just a 2nd grade brain. Remember that kids' brains aren't fused yet. And probably for them to understand every kind of genre in reading, that is probably not quite true. But it's still expecting it, so you have to be very careful. So that's how you read that. You read the reading, you look at the reading. You look at the math, You look here at the math. Here's the beginning of the year and here's the mid-year. So when you're setting goals, you can say, wow, well, if you're at a 199 and you're supposed to get to 209, why don't we shoot for like a 205? So when you're saying these numbers, they mean something to you and to the child. So we put this in there also for you. So you can do that for reading and math. We also made a chart for you so that you could see the average student, and then you can see where your student is. So I believe blue on yours is benchmark paper, and the blue is the average second grader across the nation, and then your child's the other one. You can see the code next to it. Those tests are great, and we do get scored on those. Last year, second grade did have the highest growth in MAPS, but we weren't the highest achieving in MAPS. On the other hand, we did give the PALS test to your child, and this is where we sat one by one, and this is when we had assessment day. And you have a sheet in your folder or in your notebook that came home, and it looks something like this. So what we did was we explained this also a little bit. Let me see if I can scoot this screen out a little bit and down. I'll start at the top and then I'll move down. So this shows you the spelling score. It tells you how many words they had, and then there's a lot of features. And here's the max amount of scores they can get, and this is what the child got. So that's spelling. If I take this, but I go down here to the spelling, I can see where my child is doing well. Oh, really good with beginning and ending. Digraphs, they do well. Blends. Short vowels, that means consonant, vowel, consonant. Nasal sounds, consonant, vowel, consonant with a silent E, so that's a long one. And then long vowels, where they're doubles or IGHs. So I can tell with this student, I really need to work from these 3s first to get that to the 4. Then I'll work on the 2s and the 0s. Remember, you don't want to start with the 0s because they haven't probably been introduced to them that much. They're just starting second grade. These are second grade expectations for the end of the year. So I scroll back up and I look back up here. That was what the spelling score. And they get a point for spelling it right. They get a spelling point for all these different things. And we have the spelling that you can look at, but you can't take it with you because we're going to be giving that same test at the end of the year. The next thing we did was we gave them a word list. And every second grader has to first take the first grade word list. So I knew from the maps the student was a high reader, but I still have to give this. And the requirement, the reason why this is in 15th in parentheses, is they have to at least get a 15 to go to the next grade level list. So I got 19, the max he can get is 20. You got 20, you got 20, gave him the 4th grade list, and it was just way too hard. So then I gave the 3rd grade, the teacher would give the 3rd grade passage. That's like a little reading text. So I gave the 3rd grade 97% accuracy. Fluency was a little choppy. It wasn't a 3. It was a little monotone. Words per minute. Now here's where you really find where your reader is. You know, he's reading some 4th grade words. 3rd grade words are pretty easy, but look at the words per minute. A 2nd grade reader should read about 110 words a minute. So even though he's in the 4th grade and a 3rd grade reading, this rate needs to speed up. This is why this fluency was a lower score. So all kids at 2nd grade, whatever level they're reading, to say they're really, really, truly reading at that level, should be about 110 words a minute. On the comprehension, we're hoping for a 5 or 6 to say they understand that level also. So this young man understood the 3rd grade. He understood it pretty well. A little slow, a little choppy. So this is probably where I'll start teaching him where to read. This is his independent oral reading level. If I scroll down some more, oh, and then that's it because we did this part. Let's go to the next slide. The other thing is, I know parents have been asking about writing, and we've worked a lot on writing. We've given 2 writing prompts. We've been working on personal narratives. We also worked on an opinion piece on one of the prompts. But there is no rubric from the district right now. We are realigning our writing. Our district is struggling with writing across the Front Range. We're not a very high scoring, and that is not acceptable. So we've been meeting and going to classes, and that's why we were gone half day last week. Ms. Rooney and I and every teacher in the district has to go to grade level meetings to become better writing teachers. And so we're all trying to get on the same page and we'll put those rubrics out as soon as we can. On our webpage, however, you will see what we've been required to teach, and then we made a little simple rubric. It's not as complex as this until one comes out. Next week, we're going to start opinion writing. Their personal narrative for the first unit is due on Monday. So I went through this really fast. There was a lot of questions during the time. We also went through the navigation of the website, how to do calendar, some links for passwords, Google Classroom, dates, the garden, and trail cleanup, and then we had lots of questions. So I'm going to take you now to the website. I'm going to exit out of here, and I'm going to take you to the second grade website. Let me just see if I can scoot this out just a little more for you. Doesn't want to capture it all. So when you log in, let me get in as a parent here. I'll go back. I was working on it earlier today, so let's go back here. Go to second grade. So if you're on the STEM one, you click the second grade, and then you will see, I'm still in, let me log out real quick. Sorry that I'm taking your time. So go to classrooms, go to second grade, and I'll kind of scoot this back and forth so you can see things. Sorry, it's a little jazzy. So here's our home page. Every Friday, Miss Rooney and I do not leave until we kind of give you a heads up about what's going to be happening the next week. So if you missed one, you can always go back and go to our news page, and then you'll see the past web pages that we've posted. So we post one every week. Whoops, I went to the wrong one. We post one every week, and this is our home page. And if you scroll down, first you see our newsletter. Next you see welcoming and how everything works within it. Here it tells you how to log into Facebook and Twitter. Our handle is Rooney Tennant for Facebook, and for Twitter it's at second grade. It's right here. Second grade STEM right here. So please follow us. We do something at least once a week, if not every day. When we get some things and we do some cool things, we try to make them into little YouTubes, and so that you can see what's going on also. And then Miss Rooney has a class spot, and then I have a class spot also. Not much on there. We try to keep everything the same, but every once in a while you might look on these pages. The next thing that you can see is, I already explained the pages. One of the things the parents have asked is about birthdays and different things like that, and our Scholastic book orders. That's in here. You go into logistics, nuts and bolts. You can find everything you need there. Rubrics are right here, and what we're working on. Web links to help you get to homework, and writing support, what we're doing within personal narrative. Calendar is another really important thing on here. If you see it in blue, if you click it, I'll scroll down. We just put in the new iExcel. If you click iExcel unit, and then it then has all of the components that are due by the end of this unit, which we post on the website also. And what we did was we put this as a link now, so you don't have to go back and forth. So that should help you a little also. So anytime you see the blue writing on the calendar, that if you click it, that gives you the spelling words. If you see that we started Unit 2 here, iExcel, and then you can go to the next month. When you click on your calendar, you can see that the iExcel is not going to be due until October 16th. So I know a lot of you are getting it all done at once. Well, we haven't taught all of that yet. So you can slow down and enjoy yourself a little more and enjoy your family. We try to put the schools things on here too, like trunk or treats coming up. Red Rocks, our field trip. And also we try to put the link on here if you're missing a field trip form. So kind of that is what we want to do. And then if you will go into Google Classroom, I'm going to set up a whole nother one just to set up Google Classroom so that you can see that. These are 15-minute increments only allowed, and I'm running out of time, but hopefully you'll understand more just how to navigate around here. Thank you guys so much.